Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. Uh,
Hello.
I am one of your hosts. I am Fletcher, and I'm going to be playing my horrible little baby boy and murder magnet Camille. And joining me is a wonderful, beautiful, talented friend who does so very good art and has very, very wonderful
Ah!
characters.
Ah! I scream and cover my face. Uh, Hi, I'm Arsum Sessions, also known as Obby, and today I'm playing a new character. Actually, I'm going to be playing. Well, her name is Starjet. You'll see her in a bit. Don't worry about it.
Well, looking at the title card, I think they're seeing her right now, actually.
You know what? Fair enough. But you'll see her in action in a bit.
We'll all
You'll
see
see
her in
what she's
action.
like. Uh-huh. Man. I also do have to note, I think this is the first time I'm playing a game with you, period, which is an absolute crime.
Yeah,
We haven't played
honest,
together yet.
yeah, it's mostly just because of busy schedules, I think.
Yeah, honestly, but also, the biggest crime is not the supposed murder that's about to happen, but the fact that we haven't been able to do games with each other.
Surely the real crime here is real life.
It is. It is.
But yeah, I'm.
Responsibilities, Vinciv.
Uh, I am very happy to be with you here today, though. We're doing it for
Oh yeah,
realsies.
same.
Um,
We're doing it.
and yeah, why don't we have not really planned much for this FPS, but we do have some funny notes for what can happen. So,
We do have some funny notes. How about I start this off with the question of what's Camille's daily routine?
Camille's daily routine, now that it's summer and he doesn't have to go to school, is usually either heading over to Moria's office and hanging out with the people there, like Roboto and Izumi and Moria, of course, and kind of just helping along with case stuff, seeing what plot burst in through the door this time. Or he's hanging out with his brother Leo at the Painted Lady Cafe. And when he's not doing that, uh, there's a whole bunch of other connections that we don't need to get into right now. uh,
We don't need to get
we
into
don't
the
need to get
depths.
into right now. So
We don't
when
need to
he's
get
not,
into those depths.
yeah, when he's not hanging out with his people, and sometimes when he is hanging out with his people, there's usually a murder involved. Yeah, it's he can't go a week without murder. It happens to him specifically. But it's
Camille hearing that another murder has occurred. Well, same shit as always.
yeah, he doesn't
It's
even
another
have
Tuesday.
yeah, he doesn't even have the luxury of like knowing what he's getting into is a murder. He'll just like go accept an invite to some place, show up, and inevitably someone is murdered. Or he'll just be walking and someone will be murdered right in front of him on the street. It's a life that he sure has.
It's a lifestyle, huh?
Because
Oh,
he can't escape it. He's accepted it at this point.
it's his genre. You
Yeah,
can't escape the genre, no matter how hard you try.
yeah, he has to encounter cases somehow, and since he's not an actual detective that people can go to, this is how the world resolves that.
The only way to give a child detective crimes to solve is to just have him be there when they occur.
Exactly. It's fine. The police department is used to this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can only assume so.
So yeah, I'm gonna guess that he's walking into murder again.
Mhm.
Do you
Maybe
have?
this one is a bit odder than the usual circumstances that you've suggested, maybe, because perhaps he comes across this scene after it's already occurred.
Mhm.
There's no murder happening directly in front of his eyes this time.
This time he's safe,
This
sort of.
time, there's a crime scene. There's, like all the yellow tape and stuff like that. The stereotypical, like, sectioned off area and the chalk line on the ground.
Yeah. So, do you have any ideas
Is,
for the situation in which this crime scene happened?
hmm, trying to think. Brain is blanking.
Fair. Is it just some random back alley crime sort of deal?
Yeah, probably. Just a back alleyway off the
Wonderful.
side of the main road.
Like, the main road is
Maybe in
all
the shadier
nice.
area of town.
Yeah, like, it's acceptable, like, in the main road and stuff, like, the sun is shining, or actually, this is probably night. I just
Yeah,
remember.
this is. I want to say that maybe this is like just starting to hit dusk. Maybe start getting to the later evening time.
Yeah. So, it's a nice night. But the moment you step into the alleyway, it is dark and gloomy and broody
More.
and all sorts of all sorts of
It's just. It's
adjectives.
just. It's just the style shift of just like a happy kind of like Powerpuff Girls TV show, and you go into the alley and suddenly it's dark more.
Yeah. Like, outside of the alleyway, it's all fun, nice UPA style. And then
Mm-hmm.
you step in, and suddenly it is dark and gritty, like that one other UPA cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
The one, the Still Beating Heart or something.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Because technically that also is UPA style, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I feel like a funny thing to have Camille do is to roll a either an investigation or a perception,
It is
just right
the,
off the bat.
it's the same modifier to him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this is also your first time encountering Camille's modifiers, so, I apologize for the fact that he got a nat 20 immediately. And that's a 30.
Wow, that is a 30. Well,
He
this
has.
is probably extremely obvious detail to catch for him, considering that this is his bread is butter, his daily routine.
Yeah.
Uh, you go through the whole thing of like going into the crime scene and assuring everyone that you're gonna help and whatever, and then you get like 2 steps in, you look at where the body is supposed to. There's no body.
Some real. Something real fun that we could use to flavor is he goes. He steps into the crime scene because he is a nosy little bastard. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
like, sneaks past the people who do still have a problem with a 7-year-old at the crime scene and aren't yet used to his constant presence there. Uh, and, like, starts investigating, notices a whole bunch of tiny little details, and then he looks over, like, after 5 minutes, and oh, that probably
Wait a
would have been a
second.
good place to start.
Actually, that might be funny. A funny detail. At first, there was a body, but then you were so focused on all the other little details that you immediately noticed. Wait a second, where did it go?
What? He just stops and blinks.
Where is the victim?
And he starts looking around to see, like, did someone move the body? I thought that we were did someone take it away for an autopsy? He probably asks around to, hey, what did you do with the body? It's kind of soon to be
What
moving
happened to
it,
it?
don't you think?
Oh, gosh. I mean, with that same 30, Camille could probably recognize that other people who are there, like, investigating the scene just as much as he is, are probably also very confused. Like, they have, like, the same expression of, wait, what? Hello?
Just that expression.
Basically, yeah.
The Tails gets trolled expression.
Oh. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna make you roll another. This time a perception specifically. Although
Alright.
it doesn't matter, you've already said. So
Yeah,
to catch this next bit.
he has 4 expertises. Because I did a funny little thing with his features and the fact he's a rogue. So he
Oh,
has 3
delicious!
different +10s and 1 +9.
That's terrifying. Thank you.
Oh dear God. I'm so
What do you get?
sorry.
Well, it's kind of hard to miss when a 7 foot tall mountain of a woman walks kind of in the background across where everyone else is.
Yeah.
Fieriest red hair in like a slicked back ponytail, and that is super fluffy. Like it looks like her hair could have been on fire with how red and fluffy it is. Just walks past the crowd in the background.
Yeah, that's suspicious. He's going to assume that hopefully the crime scene at least isn't moving anywhere. And he is going to try and tail this 7 foot tall mountain of a woman. So I guess I'll be rolling a stealth. And there we go.
Oh boy. Oh boy. 8.
So the first 3 rolls of this FPS 30, 30, 8.
Oh, this is already so good. Oh, I love this.
So I don't think even her passive is that bad.
Oh gosh, what is her passive? Let me see. Yeah, it beats that.
Yeah. So
It definitely beats it.
yeah, you absolutely notice that a tiny 2'8" child who barely looks like who barely looks old enough to go to school, like in the teeny little bow tie and cap, is very much just tailing you. He's trying to be subtle about it, but a child on their own is kind of obvious.
I think like she takes notice of it and like turns her head around and then immediately spins around and puts her hands on her hips like, hello there. I didn't see you there for a moment. Hello. Could you perhaps tell me where I am?
And Camille, he kind of starts a bit at that and like jumps back a pace or two as he's just, uh, you're in Vealstown?
She just ruminates over this information and nods very seriously.
Uh,
Okay, that
are,
is a lot further away than I expected. Well then, hello.
uh, are you lost?
Well, not lost specifically. More, hmm. And like she just kind of looks around, just like getting a feel for the area you kind of suspect.
Yeah. He's watching her as she does this.
Hmm. Regardless, I do have a question for you. What are you doing out so late when it is not exactly, well, it's not safe around here. I should know.
Uh, well, um, there was kind of a murder that you just walked away from?
I see. I see what the situation here is. Well, it was less a murder and more an attempted murder, you see. And then she turns around and there's a knife sticking out of her back.
God. Camille just blinks and is like, uh, he takes a moment. Just, I think maybe you need to see a hospital. If we go back to the scene, they can call an ambulance for you.
Well, I will be fine. I just need some help actually reaching this thing. And she's like trying to reach back at it.
Yeah, Camille's just, um, I think if you were there was an attempted murder, I think maybe you should report that. There's kind of a missing body, and I don't. And he squints for a moment because wait, he was pretty sure he would have remembered the body looking like you.
If you want, you could roll history to like maybe see the difference in details
Yeah, thankfully that
of
is
what was there.
yeah. That is one
Is
of the
this
ways
another
to
one of
nerf
the
him. That's a
12?
12.
12. Well, maybe you don't remember details about the body specifically. You do remember the outline, though, of the body. And let me tell you, it could not have fit a 7 foot tall woman
Yeah.
who is built like a brick house. Which, I have to say, this is probably an odder looking Toon. For one thing, her skin is like a deep green and kind of like patched with a deeper green on some areas. She's wearing like a bright red mask and like an outfit that looks like it just came out of like an arcade machine, like fighting simulator.
Yeah. uh yeah, he's taking that all in because he sure knows some odd people in his life. He knows many odd people in his life actually. Uh but yeah, you're on the list next to them as he's just um I don't think the body looked like you. Did something happen?
Well, that is a whole other explanation in of itself. And right now, there is someone who tried to kill me. And she just gestures out at the streets in general.
Uh yeah, that is what happens with attempted murders. If you know you provide uh the detectives and such with information, we can help with the arresting of said person and finding them.
Okay. Okay, you're presenting this logic to her, and she's realizing it's making sense. Like you can see the two brain cells starting to cog into place.
Yeah, and he's just, oh, thank goodness. As he's just, oh, that being said, I should probably, I do have some, healing stuff. So you probably, if we remove the knife, you probably won't bleed out if I take a look at it, though I still do recommend seeing the hospital, because usually it's not putting the knife in you that's the worst part.
Oh, don't worry, this isn't my first experience with something like this. I know what I'm doing. I know how this is. If I do need more professional medical help, I will go and seek it out. But for now, a patch job is more than enough.
Well, alright then. And it's
She just kind
kind
of
of a
squats.
wild scene because he is making grabby hands at you. Like
I
a
think she just
child
kind of.
asking to be picked up, even though this is someone asking to pull the knife out of you.
Yeah, I think she just kind of squats down and turns around so like the knife is able to be grabbed and pulled out.
Yeah, he probably still does have to like go up on tippy toes and like. Should I roll athletics?
Yes, do it.
Oh boy. So, a fun fact about Camille is he has -3 athletics, and that was a 2. The knife is very much wedged into there.
It really is. Like you grab it and it doesn't move. It does not move at all.
He's just, okay, let me try that again. It's a little stuck
Would you
in
like
there.
me to lay down so it's easier to grab?
Uh, that might help, actually, yes.
She just she just flops forward like a very audible thud. Looks like she just got stabbed all over again.
Gosh. Family Guy death pose. Okay, let's see if the dice are any kinder to you this time. Okay. It was a matter of not having good leverage because he is literally under 3 feet tall.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's much better. Yeah. Yeah, with that, you were able to grab the knife and yank it out. It's like a gruesome scene of the Sword of the Stone.
Yeah. Oh wait, I should probably do a retroactive roll because no, we'll just say that he already is wearing gloves. He was on the crime scene earlier. He is not
Mm-hmm,
contaminating this with his fingerprints. Um,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
yeah, so he removes the blade from your back, and let's see. He does not at all seem put off by how gruesome it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Just another Tuesday.
just another Tuesday. And let's see. He's gonna give you a uh a little bit of flavored cure wounds. This is flavored more as yeah, he manages to pull that out, thankfully. He pulls out a little first aid kit and patches you up.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's really cute. Oh.
Yep. So you regain 10 HP.
Oh, Pog. Nice.
And he's just like, alright, you should be good. It doesn't look like it's too bad. And
Brain is dying. Give me a moment.
understandable.
Gosh, I think she just gives a very loud thank you and like hops up onto her feet like in just one smooth motion and then stands at her full height while also picking you up.
Gosh, there is a little surprise squeak as he's picked up. Is it just oh
I'm assuming that because you seem to know extremely well the ins and outs of this sort of situation that you are more familiar with this than I am.
uh yeah, uh I am a detective's apprentice.
Hmm. She nods very seriously.
Yeah. Okay. Thankfully his hammer space is not bullying him tonight, so he pulls out a little plastic evidence baggie and puts the
Oh.
dagger in it before sealing it up and putting it into his hammer space again. +1 bloody
Well,
knife acquired.
One bloody knife acquired. One clue received.
It's just so um
Which I actually did just think of a detail about maybe the blood on the knife
ooh
of how it could be. I think the part that was closer to the handle has like kind of like red kind of ink, that sort of blood. But
mhm.
then like the part that was like deeper in has like a more deep green kind of bodily fluid about it.
Yeah, and he is taking note of that. He probably also notices I'm gonna guess that notices that the blood on the dagger, the deep green at least, probably matches
Oh yeah.
the curtains match the drapes, so to speak.
The curtains certainly match the drapes. The ink matches the ink well.
Yeah. Yeah, so he just files that away for later, and he's like, well, we should probably get uh any relevant information.
Hmm. This is a good point. I would say that I saw where they went, except I didn't because they backstabbed me.
That not much is evident. Yep. Um, and he's gonna pull out. He's going to try to pull out his
Oh no.
notebook, but instead he fumbles, I guess. Is he's just like, oh, let me get something to write this down, actually. And instead of pulling out something to write it down, uh, he he pulls out a book titled Da Vinci Code. And he's just, ah, that is the wrong thing. One moment. Oh dear.
Do
Let's
you
do
need
the.
assistance?
No, no, I got it. I do have a notebook.
Regardless of what he says, she's just gonna start shaking him up and down.
Gosh.
That one gag of trying to get the stuff out of the hammer's face.
Yeah, I guess I'll roll a hammer space like 3 times to see what comes out, and then have the notebook fall on top of that. Alright, so the first thing that comes out is a white feather that has a red tip to it.
Ooh.
That almost looks like blood, but it's not. The second thing that comes out is an entire collection of Herlock Sholmes books. The the third thing to come out is a soccer ball. I guess we've reduced Camille's character down to the bare essentials in this. And finally, on top of that, very gently falls his notebook. And with one
Starjet,
last
Starjet
shake,
just
the pen falls beside it.
Starjet just like pops one hand in the air, and like when she picks up the notebook, it makes like a video game sound effect of like you got an item.
Yeah. Alright, let me make a con save for Camille for getting shaken around. He ain't doing so hot.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
He's got
Starjet has so little brain cells.
he's got the little swirly eyes as and kind of is a little bit limp in your arms.
We have received your notebook and writing implement.
Thank you. Uh,
Are you all right?
it's a little disorienting.
Ah, my apologies. Here, and she's gonna very carefully set you on the ground, and she's gonna tap one hand on your shoulder and do 5 points of lay on hands to
Oh,
get rid of any dizziness.
Yeah, he very much does blink and feel better at that as she's just, oh, thank you. And he's gonna very quickly uh, collect the stuff that he dropped.
Starjet is still holding onto the notebook and has not thought about giving it.
Yeah, once the stuff is all safely back into his hammer space, he does kind of make grabby hands again as he's just, can I have my, notebook now, please?
Oh, right! My apologies. And she's just gonna hand it over.
And he gives you a little thanks and flips it open and is
Mhm.
like open to a new page and is just okay, for starters, what's your name?
I am Starjet, Galactic Defender sent from beyond the stars. And she like does like a whole dramatic pose, and like there's like a some sort of UPA flag in the background,
Oh my gosh.
and like just the absolute stereotypical superhero.
She is, and we love her. Camille just blinks at that and writes down Starjet. As he's just, well, I guess it's nice to meet you.
It is nice to meet you. I don't think I've actually gotten your name yet. Uh, and you are.
Oh, right. And he sticks his little baby hand out for you to shake. Like, Camille Christie, detective, is detective's apprentice.
Camille Christie, detective. Ooh, okay, okay,
Uh,
okay. And she's just grabbing it, and you're probably gonna have to make a con save again
oh my
because
gosh.
she's a little brain and so many muscle,
It's
basically
okay.
waving you up and down like you're a piece of paper.
It's okay, he expected it this time. Yeah. Just, yeah, this kid is really, really light. He has the ring of featherlight, so technically he is light enough to be mage handable.
Oh my gosh.
Which is, yeah.
hold, hold gentle.
So he very much goes a little bit of everywhere as you shake his hand, but it's fine. He was ready for it. And
Laminated paper sound effect.
yeah, just whoa, 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 whoa. Um, so once he's sat down, he's just, um, well, uh, okay. For reference, detective isn't actually part of my name.
Ah,
It's just Camille and Christy. There's,
Camille Christie.
yes.
Okay. Understood. And she gives two big thumbs up.
And he's just, thank you. And goes back to goes back to his notes because yeah, he sure does meet people, huh?
hmm I'm actually gonna roll a basically just an investigation for for Starjet, even though I don't think it's gonna go well.
All right.
Because like she's still very much in the mindset of gotta find the person who did this before they cause more harm.
Yeah, before they go stab someone who can actually die. Oh, honey.
7. 7.
Yeah. You I don't
Gosh,
think you've
what
put together
happens with a
shit.
roll like that? Yeah, no, I don't think she's put together anything. In fact, she's probably put the wrong things together altogether.
Oh dear. And he's just he's just okay, Starjet. Uh what were you doing in that alley?
Oh, Well, I was following a rather suspicious character, although, you could probably see how that ended up.
Alright, so was that suspicious character the same one that stabbed you, or did they have an accomplice?
Hmm. I'm going to have her roll history.
Alright.
10. Hmm. I think she gets the bare minimum with
Yeah.
that. I think there was more than one. Yes. Any
Okay.
other details? Nothing. There was more than one.
Okay, so you don't remember how many?
It it all happened a little quickly, I must admit.
Okay. Do you remember any defining details about these people? Like anything that stuck out as odd that we could perhaps use to find them?
Can you roll the history again? Just because it's funny to me.
Oh,
3!
that's a. Oh.
They were very suspicious.
Okay. Um, suspicious how?
Dark silhouette. But that's about it. That's all I can remember.
I suppose that is fair considering that you're stabbed. Um, he's.
I pulled Starjet up. So mass affectionate.
She is, and we love her. So, well, there's that. Uh, is so what you're saying is you saw a dark shadow on the street and you followed them into an alleyway and then you got stabbed.
Yes, that about sums up my experience. Very lucky it wasn't someone else. Someone else might have fallen, well, not alive at the end of that weapon. But
Jacket?
I am me, and I am very and she just kind of like slams a hand into her chest, and there's kind of like a sparking effect. Because she does have full plate armor, but I flavored it that it's like alien tech armor.
Yeah.
It's like it's more like a force field than an actual full plate.
Yeah.
And like it does make as much noise as full plate because it sparks when it's hit, and it and it makes a humming noise while it's on.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah. So it's effectively the same. Offers the same disadvantages, but it's also cool. And futuristic tech like.
It is very cool. And yeah, Camille is just, well, yeah, that does happen generally when someone is stabbed in that area, unless they get very lucky. Um, uh, so, and he pauses.
Hmm. A thought has occurred to me. Perhaps we can ask these questions while we are on the move and searching for any suspicious characters.
Oh, sure. That's better than nothing, at least.
She just gives like two big thumbs up again, and then you are now on her shoulders. Just
uh,
hoisted up, and now she's just like starting to lightly jog around the area.
yeah, there is another squeak, but he doesn't protest this. He is used to it.
Used to being manhandled.
Yeah. he is very small and has very tiny legs. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
And he is definitely doing a little think as he looks over the notes. As he's like, so, um, how did you get here without knowing it's Vealstown?
Ah, well, hmm. That is a bit trickier to explain, I must be honest. I'm only ever really awake at night, and usually during the day I move around without my knowing. It's, it will make more sense when you meet my other half.
He is making note of that and is just. You want to make a perception?
Sure! Why not? Plus one. That is 3.
Yeah, you do not at all hear
I
it. But
am loving these abysmally terrible rolls.
yeah. But for the audience, I feel under his breath muttered, "Oh, Moon, why can't I ever meet a normal person?" Uh,
That's so funny.
yeah, yeah, out loud.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Kelly. That's so funny.
he is actually gonna ask for clarification, even though he's just like, "I'm going to guess that you don't mean a partner."
Oh, no. I am not, currently romantically involved.
Okay. Um. mm, Is is this sort of like a weird clash tar situation, or
I'm gonna roll just a straight intelligence. 14.
yeah,
I personally don't know quite what that is.
yeah, so you know Zan.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Um yeah, Camille knows a handful, which is why that's where his mind jumped to, that people don't
Mm.
normally know what that is. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
it 14 is a decent roll, but might just be because people
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
uh you've heard it mentioned before, but you're not quite sure what it
Mentioned
is.
before. I think she's just staring at him and goes, "What is that?"
Oh, well, if you don't know, then you don't need to worry about that.
Concerning. Let's move on.
Oh, I mean, there does seem to be a lot of concerning things happening in this conversation, so I don't really think you're in a place to judge.
This is true. This is very true, considering the situation.
I did pull a knife out of your back, but yes. Um,
Which, by the way, I am very sorry about that. It's just,
don't worry, it would not be the first time I've had to take a knife out of someone. And he just
these are
goes
all
back
very
to
concerning
writing down.
statements.
He goes,
But again, I am in no place to judge.
yeah. He's just writing down his notes, and there's a small,
I was only a bit older than you myself when I got involved into situations such as this.
there's a raising of an eyebrow. You were, you started getting into situations at 7 years old?
Well, a bit older. Middle school aged.
That is like twice my age, but alright.
Me, Obby, not remembering what the ages are.
Middle school is anywhere from 10 to 13, I think.
Okay, I was thinking 10.
Yeah.
So, like 3 years.
Yeah, but to a kid, 3 years is a long time.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, I hold up Camille. We all know the funky lore about him, but he is still putting on that baby act.
Persona.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so he's
uh,
like, well, I guess that is fair. There is such thing as child heroes in Anquil, unfortunately.
there is. There is. And actually, do you want to roll insight?
Sure, you want to see his third plus 10?
Sure. 29. Yeah, yeah. To be fair, Starjet is not really all that hard to read.
Yeah.
There is like it seems to like be coming from something within, but there is just like a tone of bitterness to her voice, but it disappears just as quickly as it arrived.
Yeah. He is also quite literally making note of that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just getting a full personality read on this character.
he has a tendency to do that. Don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
And he's going through his notes as he's just okay. Are you missing anything that was on your person when you were stabbed, by the way?
Oh, that is an important. Let me look, and she is going to just frantically like give herself a pat down. Uh, she like grabs at like a thing at her side, which appears to be like a sword hilt of some sort, and then she picks it up, puts it back, and then she like reaches into a back pocket, and I'm gonna roll hammer space. That's a 10. She pulls out like another much longer handle out of it
Oh my
before she goes,
gosh.
I have that. And then she's just slips it back in before it can get fully out out of her pocket.
Oh my
Then
gosh.
just a thorough pat down, and then she goes, I appear to be missing my game pal. That is most troubling.
Your
Mm.
game pal?
Game pal. It is like a sort of mm, it is a device from Ghibli specifically, where it is a entertainment box with little buttons on it, and you play games.
Oh, alright. Yeah, I think I understand what that is.
Yes, there you go. The words for Obby are failing.
Oh no!
Oh boy. I personally
Sometimes.
would like to get that back because it is very important to me.
Alright,
Though
well,
I don't know why someone would stab someone for a little game box.
maybe it was a collector's item. I know those can be sold for a lot.
The two gears are turning again.
Um,
This
do
does
you
make sense.
do you still have your wallet? Or was that taken also?
Hmm. Gives herself a pat down again. That is gone.
Okay.
That is troubling. That had my ID.
And he just nods like, alright, well, what happened was probably they meant to lure you into an alleyway to steal from you. So usually they wouldn't go to such length as murder, so maybe something went wrong.
Hmm. Started voice. I can think of several things that went wrong. For one
Regard
thing, trying to stab her, trying to mug her specifically.
Yeah. And he just sighs like, well, uh, we at least have a vague idea of what the motive is, unless you have made grudges with anyone who would particularly want to murder you and stage it as a murder robbery.
Hmm.
It's a very common occurrence, actually.
Hmm. I don't think anyone here would be that sort of thing. I am actually a very popular individual, in case you haven't been able to tell, for I am Starjet Galactic.
uh, also, I love to. I'm gonna guess that because a funny little fact about Camille is that he can hear like people's like themes and
uh,
such for funny little
Teams, yeah?
reasons. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to imagine that whenever she does that, there's just a loud trumpet blares, her theme starts all over again.
Yes.
like
Yes, exactly. Just
like
like
talking
trumpets and synth wave and alien noises and
yeah, like talking to Chairman Rose, or not Rose, Peony, I think, in the Crown Tundra DLC of Pokemon, and it's just his theme starts over and over with that loud blare whenever he talks to you. I like to think
yeah,
that's what's happening.
yeah, basically.
Uh,
Oh.
yeah, so he's just
Although,
he
if you do
does.
want to roll an insight, because I do know you have it,
All right. Well,
I do know you have it.
okay, well, that wasn't such a bullshit roll, but the results will still be bullshit regardless.
21. Let me look at. Gonna give this a roll real quick. Yeah, 17. Yeah. You can you can pick up on the fact on some of her wording. She said nobody here.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
and
do with that what you will.
yeah, he does make note of that, and he's just alright. Anyone who would travel to murder you, perhaps?
Hmm. Hmm. The instant Ghibli sweat drops.
Well,
Because you got a 21 and you could like read past that deception real fast.
yeah. And he's just, okay. Well, that does complicate things somewhat in terms of motive. You
Hmm. I
would.
am at least 99% positive, though, that those people do not know I am here. At least not yet.
Alright. So,
This is quite literally my first night here in Villestown, which is saying something, considering the first night means I've already been attempted to be killed.
that happens sometimes. Uh, but he he just brushes over that as he's just. But that
At
does.
least it is not an invading monster. Now, those are difficult to deal with.
I don't think generally we've had too much of those, but we have been having problems with. That's a issue for another time, I think.
Hmm.
Anyways, um,
Is it something I could perhaps assist with in the future? I have my own fair share of experience dealing with certain threats under my belt, such as giant monsters. You have no idea how often they attack towns in Ghibli.
and Camille snorts as he's just like, well, I mean, it would be good to have more people with fighting experience, I think. Um, and all right, if you want to know a little bit more about it, they are these creatures called aberrations. They're
Hmm.
they tend to really only pop up in Bealstown, at least so far. They're what um they're what Detective Moria is looking into. Uh,
Mhm, mhm. Okay,
so
as you're talking, she's actually pulled out her own notebook and she's just flipping open to a page and it's not quite obvious to you what she's writing down, but she's just basically taking notes on what you're saying.
yeah, and
Mhm,
he makes note of her making note. Welcome to this.
mhm.
um,
Making notes.
yeah, is he's
if,
just
if you want to make a perception or an investigation roll, I will allow it.
sure. Let's pull out the funky BS mods again.
What?
It's almost like
I
this
should have
character
expected
is
it.
made to
I
see
should have expected
things.
it. Yeah, yeah. And like it's pretty you're at like the perfect eagle eye view because you're sitting on top of her shoulders and she's just writing down like on her page on her notebook directly in front of you. And she basically writes down these notes, which is the general things called aberrations, might need to look into it, and closes the notebook, and the front of it reads for Dawn.
Huh.
And she slips that back into her hammer space as soon as she has the notes that she needs.
He he does make note of the name Dawn,
Mm-hmm.
and he sort of pauses as he's just like, yeah, they're sort of what happens to people sometimes. It's strange. Uh, Moria can probably explain it better than I am. Not really sure how much others should be knowing, so here, I can get you her information. And
Thank you.
instead of that, he fumbles. Um, God, alright. Okay, yeah. He pulls out the feather again. Though this time, since he's directly touching it, he does accidentally cast a spell, which is to say he accidentally cast Long Strider on you, so suddenly you are going a good bit faster.
The jogging has increased in speed.
Yeah, and he's just not that. And oh boy, he does put the feather away.
Do you require my assistance again?
I give it some time. My hammer space can be kind of finicky. Uh, he pulls out a note with Shiro with Shiro Uzumi's information on it. As he's just, that is the wrong detective. Uh, and he puts that back in. And finally,
Finally.
yeah, he pulls out the different business card. Um, this one has Moria's information on it, as well as the location of the office. So he hands that over to you as he's just, here, if you ever need to talk to her for whatever reason. Her main case is the aberrations, but she is looking into other things also.
Starjet is going to give like a very serious nod and tuck the card into the notebook that she has, along with everything else that she has written down, and is going to slip that back into her hammer space.
Yeah, and he's just, but yeah, me, Fletcher, forgetting what we were talking about before this.
Well, they're still trying to solve a murder
Yeah,
or attempted one.
as he's just like, well, regardless, it does seem like the most likely scenario is that it is in fact a actual robbery murder or robbery attempted murder. That's huh. Usually it's a usually it's to hide something else, but alright. And I'm gonna have him make an intelligence to see if he can try and find, like, where they would be most likely to go after. Or maybe investigation. Depends on how well you want him to do.
Hmm.
Well, actually, it
Just,
doesn't
just,
matter.
yeah. Just give a roll.
Yeah.
20.
Yeah,
Oh
intelligence
boy.
check worked. It's alright.
Mhm.
As he's just, well, um, I do have an idea of where they would be likely to show up next.
Then we must go there.
Mhm.
How far away is it?
Um, it's decently far, I think. It is in one of the shadier parts of town because they'll most likely be trying to lay low, seeing as they murdered someone, or at least think they murdered someone. And he starts
Mhm.
rambling off a bunch of deductions before
Mhm.
giving you the before giving you the
Yeah.
address or
Mhm.
general
Mhm.
whereabouts of where you want to go.
Yeah. Starjet like is listening and then like she says, "So we will not want to go on foot. Not to worry, I have something for this." And she like with all the excitement of like a 5-year-old getting to use their new toy.
Oh my gosh.
She's basically gonna go on the side of the street and whistle like she's calling a taxi.
Oh my gosh.
And then like in a puff of like sparkles and stars and smoke, like a big puppy, just a dog, uh, pops up like from the smoke and like is now standing beside you and is just panting happily.
Oh my
For
gosh.
clarification, mechanically this is the Find Steed spell.
Oh, wonderful.
And
And
Starjet is gonna give many little pats to the big pup, and then hop on said pup's back, which is definitely large enough to support her. So it's definitely large enough to support the both of you.
yeah, is she like setting him down on the dog in front of her?
Yes.
uh, Camille is just sitting on a giant dog now because, yeah, sure, this is how his day is going. This might as well
you
happen.
you have encountered a very thematic superhero. What did
Yeah,
you expect?
he gives the dog a gentle pat.
I still have to think of a name for the dog, but it's just good puppy. Makes very happy bork.
I mean, I think there is a dog star. I
Mhm.
It literally might just be called. Okay, yeah, there is a star named after a dog. Sirius.
Oh, serious. Amazing. We will call this dog this.
I think there is
Serious.
a PC named Sirius, but it's fine. They're not an AI.
Dang it.
It's fine. They're not an AI. Also, the idea
This is fair.
of someone sharing a name with a dog is hilarious.
This is true. This is true. But yeah, they are now on the dog, which by the way, I have the stats. It can move 50 feet as its movement speed. So we're basically going at like 100 feet per round here, which is very fast.
That is very, very fast, yeah?
Hmm. It's like a freaking streak of a comet. Just poof, there they go down the street.
Uh, Camille is very much hanging on to this dog as best as he can. and
Hmm. Luckily, you've got Starjet behind you, who is basically there to make sure you don't fall off.
yeah, she is like a brick wall. He ain't going
Uh,
anywhere.
brick wall on all sides.
Yeah. uh, So,
She's a brick house.
house. So yeah, he eventually, they... Can you stop licking my arm, little man? That is distracting. Yeah, that is
That's
distracting.
Camille. That's Camille. Camille at the star puppy.
The star puppy just starts licking him once they're off.
Yeah. Yeah, once they're off, like, and Starjet will make sure to like stop within a few blocks of the actual destination because
Mhm.
there are many things she is. Subtle is not one of them.
Oh, beloved. Yeah,
Especially with giant, slightly glowing star puppy.
yeah. And so Camille's just, he should probably try to approach this a little, quietly. He says
Ah,
while
yes.
he's getting licked by the dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ah, yes. Quietly. And think her expression suggests that this didn't exactly dawn on her that they would have to be stealthy about this.
Oh, beloved.
Hold on, I'm gonna roll hammer space real quick for something cute. Okay, she actually has reached into her hammer space and pulled out what looks like small, like, bits of meteorite, which she hands to the dog like treats.
Oh,
Crunch the rock. Crunch it.
yeah, Camille does have a small smile on his face because that is cute. Weird, but cute.
Weird but cute. That's basically just this whole character in general.
Yeah.
So, you are obviously, at least I hope, a bit more prepared than me for quieter approaches. And,
Yeah,
like, she's gonna give Sirius a pat and then squat down so that she's eye level with him again.
she's probably still way above eye level, but he appreciates the
Yeah,
thought.
trying her best.
Yeah, as
How would
he...
you approach this situation?
Uh, well, they're probably going to be watching the usual, entrance. So we'd want to find one that's perhaps not as monitored. I mean, usually I wouldn't really be that involved in this part. Uh, he gestures at himself.
So we want a way in that is not the front door.
Uh,
Understood.
yes.
All right, grab on. And without another word, she's just gonna pick you up again.
Oh,
Like she
beloved.
has this whole night, and now I'm gonna do some fun paladin stuff. TM.
It is your time to shine. I have
Mm-hmm.
pulled up two low level stat blocks that can work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, first things first. I am going to use her channel divinity to do her peerless athlete ability, which I will take a screenshot of it and plop it into the chat so y'all can see. Fearless Athlete. You can use your channel divinity to augment your athleticism with divine favor. As a bonus action, you gain advantage in all strengths, athletics, and dexterity acrobatics checks for the next 10 minutes.
Hell yeah.
So basically what she's doing, she's picking you up, putting you on her shoulders, and then she's gonna try to scale the building.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Do it.
Which, you want to see her modifier? It's not as gross as some of Camille's, but it is still pretty gross.
Please do share. I would love to see it.
Athletics, baby. Oh no, there's such bad rolls!
Oh
No! I got braggy and the dice punished me!
no. It's okay. I look away.
It's fine. I think with a 13, she manages to scale it, but not without, like, her hand slipping a few times.
Yeah. It's a bit
It's a few
awkward
scary
doing it with a
moments.
child.
Yeah. But she does do it. she gets to the top and then looks at the supposed destination that they have, which she would have done this like a few buildings away. So
yeah,
I imagine now
understandable.
she would have to roll stealth. Actually, real quick, she's going to set Camille down, and I'm actually going to cast what is the spell? Enhance ability on you for dexterity stuff. Which enhance ability is you touch a creature and bestow upon it a magical enhancement. Choose one of the following effects. The target gains the effect until the spell's end. And I am doing Cat's Grace. The target has advantage on dexterity checks. It also doesn't take damage from falling 20 feet or less if it isn't incapacitated.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which the second part doesn't really apply because you already have the ring of feather falling. But now you have advantage on dex stuff. Do with that what you will.
Which is great, because he does have a tendency to roll awful on stealth.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, Camille probably takes a moment to like case out the building a bit and like see what the best entrance is and points it out to
For
you
this
before.
one, why don't we roll for seeing what the best entrance is? Why don't we roll survival?
Oh boy.
I say survival because it would be dealing with like trying to pick out where best to approach it and what would
The
be
best
the
way to
ideal.
survive.
Yes, best way to survive. So here is. Ooh, Starjet got a pretty decent one. Oh, but you got an even better one.
The dice have been kind to him today, and I think it's because they've been nonstop bullying his bash counterpart for like the past week.
The dice, we will give you good rolls once.
Yeah. Only one Camille is allowed to have good rolls, and it is Draft House Camille.
Amazing.
But yeah, so honestly though, we probably both find the best entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe Camille is just a little bit faster, but like it is pointed out, and then it is time to
Mm-hmm.
try and
It is
stealth our
time.
way over.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. First, I want to see, because I have to look at my equipment, actually, because I just had an idea of what she could do, which might be dumb, but also it could be cool. I'm going to roll some hammer space. That's a 3. So that does succeed. Starjet is reaching, like, off-screen and pulls out, like, some rope and, like, a long, futuristic-looking javelin.
How valid.
Yeah. Basically, her idea is to tie one end of the javelin with rope and then throw it like into the side of the building and then use that to shimmy across. Is the mindset that I have right now.
Hell yeah. I think Camille's gonna cast
Yeah.
Jump on himself because that makes him go real far.
Yeah. She has to use some tools to get across, but Camille can just
Yeah.
there he go. There he go. I'm just gonna do an attack roll, I guess. For
Attack to hit the
it would
building.
be which it won't be made an advantage since it's a weapon things and not an athletics, but javelin 22.
Yeah, that sure do hit.
Uh-huh. There's just like a loud kind of crunching sound as this thing embeds itself into the side of like the top of the building.
Oh, wonderful.
Which is not the most subtle of things, but you know, it gets the job done.
It's fine. Here, let's see.
Just roll some perception with your dice and then keep it to yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Alright.
Cool.
Yeah.
E. And then should I roll athletics or acrobatics for her to basically just climb her way across on the rope?
I would say maybe acrobatics.
Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Luckily, she does have advantage still
Mhm.
from the peerless athlete thing. 14, not the worst, not the best.
Yeah, maybe roll a stealth to see how well you do now.
Okay, this is the part where she's a paladin full plate.
Yep.
She's not built for stealth. I can't stress this enough. Oh wait, whoops.
All right.
That was wrong.
So,
Don't look at that.
yeah,
It was formatted poorly.
I found you. All right, Icky.
Oh! 21 and 12.
Hey!
I guess the dice say you can be the sneakiest as a treat.
As a treat, since you're trying so hard.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and let's see, Camille. It's Camille's turn for stealth as he winds up for the jump and jumps across. Okay, so that was 1 and all right.
Ooh, 21.
Thank goodness for
Sneaky, sneaky,
advantage.
sneaky, sneaky. Sneaky, 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 sneaky.
Yeah. So he jumps.
Which I
Oh,
am thinking about how her enhanceability would be flavored. I think it was like just like a little device that she kind of clapped onto your back,
yeah.
which like just enhances like your ability to for those particular checks. Like
Mhm.
makes it so that like things involving dexterity are become a little bit easier.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
very appreciated. As
Mm-hmm.
he jumps across and very gracefully makes his landing, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And Starjet is not far behind. When she gets to the roof of the building, she's just gonna grab the javelin and yank it out along with like maybe a brick that goes with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm. I cannot stress enough how strong she is. She has a 20 in strength.
Congrats, you've made an impromptu Warhammer.
I have. I think she's actually gonna keep the javelin like basically just on hand in case things go bad.
Understandable.
Yeah. And just gonna start heading down into the building, I guess.
Yep. And Camille is going to follow.
Hmm.
You want to make another stealth roll and tempt
I
God, or do
sure do.
you?
Let's tempt God. This is at disadvantage. Okay.
All right.
Even at disadvantage, she got a 17. That's pretty good.
Oh.
Oh no. I don't like that sound. 12!
Okay. All right. So, all right. Camille is very low to the ground, and they did kick up a little bit of dust when sneaking in. He sneezes.
Whoa. Oh no.
It's a tiny little baby sneeze, much like a kitten, but
Mhm.
it's still a
It is
sneeze.
still it's still noise. I think like I imagine like they're like going down like a stairwell and
Mhm.
Camille does that little sneeze and Starjet's first instinct is to immediately like move to like a darker area of the stairwell and like just try and stay put and
Mhm.
silent.
All right.
I'm just gonna do a like a perception roll to see if she can hear anyone
Mhm.
like responding to that little bit of noise.
Yeah. Do it.
14.
It doesn't seem like anyone's noticed.
Mm-hmm. she's gonna wait for like a good 5 minutes before she makes a motion to Camille that to keep going.
All right.
And then she's still gonna be leading the way down into this first top floor to start basically just combing through and seeing if they can find any shady characters. Which we haven't really talked about what kind of building this is. Is this like an apartment building, or maybe it is on the shadier side of town, so maybe it's
Yeah.
one of those rundown old apartment buildings.
Yeah, I think so. Like an old apartment building
That's
that's been cleared out.
yeah,
Probably
cleared
gonna
out
be
and left to the elements.
yeah, probably gonna be demolished soon.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say as you come down, you don't seem to notice a room that does seem to have some activity in it.
Hmm. Well, all 7 feet of Starjet is gonna very carefully creep up to that room and peek inside.
Yeah, there is a there's very much a suspicious figure sitting there. Sort of is the game pal playable question mark.
It is. It is.
Yeah, the guy's playing on the game pal. Is very engrossed in it, has not noticed either of you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
meanwhile,
that's one.
mm-hmm,
Does she see another one with that 14?
there is not another person in there. And let me roll
Okay.
something.
Cool. Red.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That was a nat 1. So this guy had been successfully sneaking up on you for ever since Camille sneezed.
Oh, okay then.
And then he sneezes.
Is he behind Starjet?
Yeah, you turn around and you see a guy who is very much poised and about to stab you again.
Okay, I have to put into perspective that Starjet's eyes kind of glow in the dark.
Yeah.
It's like a bright venom green. So she
Oh.
turns around without hesitation. She's gonna hit this guy over the head
Alright. Is that a.
with the impromptu warhammer.
Alright. Okay. Since that was a nat 1, you can absolutely do a surprise round and get one attack in on him.
Pog, 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 pog. 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna do the normal damage for a javelin, which is going to be a d6 plus 5 because of her strength.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Bonka. Okay.
Cool.
I'm
And
gonna
I
be
assume
doing
we
the
now
math
have to roll
here.
for initiative.
Oh yeah.
Alright, pog, pog, pog. Oh
All right.
boy. Oh boy. This is initiative for Starjet. That's an 18.
Hell yeah. Someone decided to be awful again.
Uh-oh.
So Camille got a 24.
Dang.
Okay, the guy who just got walloped, let's see what this is.
Blanca de Conca.
That is a. Yes, thank you for your input, Iggy. 13. And the guy in the
Nice.
room, uh, the stat block for this guy has a passive perception of 7.
7.
Yeah. So that guy got... Okay.
Oh my gosh!
Okay, so the order is gonna be Starjet, Camille... No, wait, it's gonna be Camille, then Starjet.
Yee.
Iggy,
Camille, Starjet, then
Goon
Goon
1.
number 1 and Goon number 2.
Alright. Okay, Iggy, come here. Come here. You're
Iggy.
being a bastard. Yep.
The dog wanted attention.
Yes, he has been grabbed. Okay, so
Attention.
I guess Camille is going to bonus action disengage and back away a bit.
Uh-huh.
Cause he's...
Back away.
Yeah.
Back away.
And let's see, how does... Dear God, buddy, you have so many... Okay. He has so many features. He's currently...
So many things.
Camille is currently triple classed.
Oh,
Eventually he'll
heavens.
be back to be... Eventually he'll be double classed again. But for now he's triple classed, which means his features page is an absolute nightmare. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, so he's
I'd love to
gonna
see it.
move back, and he's going to... He's gonna pull out a soccer ball. If I'm not being bullied by hammer space rolls. Okay. He pulls out a soccer ball.
Mhm.
And then he's going to kick it right at that goon.
Mhm. Kill. Kill.
Okay. So that is a... That do hit, I
That
think.
do hit. That is a 16 plus 7, which is 23.
And that
That
is d6 plus 4 plus 2d6. Because Starjet's right there so that you get a funny little sneak attack bonus. Alright,
hee-hoo.
okay.
Kill. Kill.
Yeah. Okay. So he stumbles back having gotten a soccer ball to the face, and Starjet, your turn.
Mhm. Okay, Starjet is actually going to attempt to grapple this guy. Which the rules for grappling is like a athletics versus athletics and or acrobatics.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to be doing athletics, but she still has advantage on because the fearless athlete.
Hell yeah. Do it. Make your check.
24.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, he does not make it.
What do you roll? What do you roll?
That's a 21.
21.
You
Oh,
got
he
him.
gave up a noble fight, but in the end, Starjet was successful.
Hell yeah.
She's just gonna like grab, like one arm is just gonna like bear hug around him, and the other is just gonna clamp around his mouth. And just like one fluid motion.
Oh, wonderful. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she gonna... can she do anything else?
I think honestly, she's just gonna like quietly ask Camille to like get some rope or a gag or something.
Alright. Yeah, so that'll have to wait for Camille's turn.
And her turn is just gonna be spent keeping this guy in the grip.
Okay.
Which, when it is his turn, which it is right now, he can roll another athletics. Well, actually, yeah, it would have to be athletics to try to break out.
Yeah, he's actually gonna go straight for the stabs.
Ah, stabbies.
Yeah. Alright. So he gets Oh dear, he gets 3 attacks, so...
Oh, that's a lot. I'm suddenly very worried. Although they would be at disadvantage, though, because
Yeah,
he
so the
is
first one
grappled.
definitely misses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, oh boy. That one... Gonna guess a 22 hits, because this ain't Bash.
Yeah, a 22 would hit.
Alright. Okay, so that is
7
7
damage.
damage.
Mm-hmm.
You get stabbed again,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes in for another.
Step, 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 step.
Okay.
21 does hit.
Yeah.
Time
Yeah,
for
so he
some more
starts thrashing,
damage.
uh, and you get 2 extra stab wounds.
Mm. There's definitely like a grunting sound, and then her gritting her teeth, and then just bear hugging harder.
Nice. And the the last goon is just finally like, just, hey, what the heck's going on? Oh dear, that is, that sure is an event. And yeah, and he is gonna cast invisibility on
Hmm,
himself.
concerning.
And he's just gonna try and slip on out of there with his game with
No,
the
not the game
gamepad.
paddle. No.
It's
Man, gotta
okay.
leave his buddy to die.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Aw, bid
Thankfully,
Sim.
20 is Camille's passive percep, so he does have a vague idea of where this guy is still.
Dang, that's really good.
Yeah, he has a +10, so he sure do have a
Horrendous
passive.
dirty modifiers beloved.
Yeah. All right.
Disgusting.
Mhm.
Right, well, it is in fact Camille's turn.
Yep. Okay. And Camille is going to hand you some, very quickly head over to hand you some rope.
Mm-hmm.
Cause yeah, he has some. Don't worry about where he got it from. So he hands that to you and squints over at where the other guy generally is, and he's going to try and make an attack now. Uh, it is with disadvantage though.
Yeah, because he's invisible.
Yeah, the soccer ball goes
Oh,
way wide and starts bouncing wildly in the hallway.
so yeah.
As he just, ah, damn it.
Oh, Starjet, meanwhile, when it's her turn,
It is
would it
indeed
be
your
fair to
turn now.
say the bonus action could be her tying this guy up as quick as possible?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Since
I'm
he's
gonna
already.
do athletics again to see how well she manages to do it on short notice.
Yeah.
Uh, which is again advantage. He who 24.
Okay, yeah, I don't think he's getting. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You tie
No.
him up very, very snugly.
Mm-hmm.
And you also remove the knife for good measure.
Mm-hmm. I just have the gag of where like she just finishes tying him up and then just tosses him into the room where the other guy just snuck out of.
Oh,
And just
absolutely.
points, I'll deal with you later. And then she's gonna start actively looking for the other dude.
Alright, so roll perception.
Perception at disadvantage because invisible.
Yeah.
Which she probably won't beat it, but yeah, no.
No, you have no idea where this guy is.
Just like scouring the area and is just cursing under her breath.
Yeah, it's okay. He'll reveal his general where. You can still try and make an attack.
You know what? Sure. Blind attack.
Yeah. I mean, it
Actually, she
is a
could be like,
hallway.
there he is.
Mhm.
Just out loud at Camille.
Yeah, Camille's just like, well, I think he's around there, and points in a general location.
Cool. I'm gonna roll hammer space. That's a 6. Actually, no. This was on her hip. I said before, so it wouldn't be hammer space. Either way. That sword hilt that she had, that I mentioned before, she grabs onto that and pushes a button on the side. And do you know, like, the ancient weapons from Breath of the Wild?
Oh, yes.
This is a big fucking great sword.
Oh, I love that.
It is huge and it is scary. And I'm gonna do just a blind melee attack. Which means it's definitely at disadvantage.
Oh
But
boy.
that's still a 20, Jesus!
Your
Okay!
swing is so wide, and the fact that it is a hallway means that you do somehow manage to land a hit anyways.
Yes! Just the big peck off anime sword. Okay, I'm gonna roll that damage, which is 2d6 plus 5. Man. Boop boop. 11.
Leaving.
Leaving.
This guy does not have as much HP as the other.
Uh huh. Magic users typically don't.
Yeah. Alright. So he takes that hit, and he makes his con save.
Mm-hmm.
The invisibility is dropped.
Oh, that's it. Oof. Oof.
Yeah,
There
so
is no invisibility.
yeah, you hit this guy, and there is a cry as he very much gets flung back and bounces a little bit. But then it's his turn, and he has a funny, funny spell
Oh no.
called
Oh no.
Lightning Bolt.
Oh, okay. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, so we'll do our best to survive this one, I think. Let's make a dex save.
Dex save. I don't think I have advantage because it does specify checks in the wording of Peerless Athlete
Yeah.
and not saves. Expensive. Oh well. Oh, that's a. Oh wait, that was an advantage. I forgot already. But the first one was a 20.
Yeah, the
I'd like
first
to
one
go
was
with
a
the
20.
20.
Let's take the 20, since that was the
Mm-hmm.
first one. And Camille also passes, thankfully. So we only
Mm-hmm.
take half damage.
Which is still damage, but you know what? It's less damage than what we could have taken.
Yeah, so we'll roll this, and then we'll,
Oh heavens! That's still 29.
no, that's,
So
14.
yeah, 14. 14 damage. All right, cool.
Yeah, we both get a pretty bad zip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oof.
Oof.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a shudder, and Camille very much glares and
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna. Let's see. What can you do, Battle? I love looking at all of the absolute. I love having two classes with prepped spells. Oh, fear. Okay.
Oh boy, your wide selection.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna do a funny little thing where he looks to be uh he's gonna do a funny little thing called Firebolt, actually.
Ah, yes. Firebolt.
Cause unfortunately he misses.
Oof. Expensive.
Yeah, so Camille uh attempts to cast Firebolt. But he casts it through his watch and there's a little jam and he's just shit. And
Expensive.
gonna very quickly like pop open the top to try and fix that real quick.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
Starjet, your turn.
Starjet's turn. And I just looked over the character sheet and I've just remembered I actually have 2 attacks.
Yeah, you do.
I forgot about that.
Fair.
Okay, well, she's gonna go charging at this dude with the great sword, the big Pekov great sword.
Yes, good.
And this is the first attack, which is 16. Does that hit?
Sure does. This is a spellcaster, you squishy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna expend a spell slot to make this a divine smite.
Okay.
Yeah! Listen, spellcasters can be scary if they're left alone.
Yeah, I love paladins. They terrify me.
Uh huh.
As someone who
So,
plays a paladin.
mhm. So it'll be 2d6 plus 5 for the great weapon damage. Oh, those are both ones which I can re-roll because guess what I have?
Hell yeah.
Great weapon fighting style.
Nice. So why don't you reroll? Because you literally.
Oh,
There you go.
definitely re-rolled. And
And
then it's
now
gonna
do
be,
your smite.
yep, it'll be 2d8 radiant damage on top of that. 10.
He is literally down to 1 HP.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I think she does those attacks, and then she's just towering over this dude, and she's just gonna be like, do yourself a favor. Just stop.
And he looks way up at you. And he starts to book it. And I think
Opportunity
you.
attack.
Yeah, do your opportunity attack. Yeah, you.
13. She just wordlessly lifts up the hilt of her sword and bonks him on the head with the pommel.
You just ragdolls down to the floor. Yeah, Camille just looks over at this absolute uh, event and is just, well, that's exciting. You should probably contact the police. And you get your stuff back, of course.
She just does she like puts her sword hilt on her side again and does like the 2 thumbs up while she grabs the one dude she just knocked unconscious and starts tying him up too.
Oh, wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And then after she puts him next to the other guy, she is going to actually head over to Camille and basically do like basically do the remaining points of her lay on hands to heal him up. But it's
Oh.
flavored as her like doing like the mom friend fussing.
And Camille's just like, I'm fine, really. But, thanks. Do you have your stuff back?
Yeah, I think I got everything. And she holds up like the little game pal as well as the the wallet
Well,
that she grabbed.
that's good. And he does actually seem to be a little tired because it's probably the middle of the night now.
Mm-hmm. Middle of the night, maybe starting to leak into daytime, just
Yeah.
barely in the AMs.
As they're probably taken care of. Um, so you can, and he yawns. Wait for the police to arrive.
Yes, we can do that. But after, do you need help getting home
Uh,
wherever
I'll
you may reside?
I'll be fine. I've pulled worse all-nighters.
Hmm.
Let me make a con roll for him. Yeah, no, you get disadvantage, buddy. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, this
6.
Steeks, he is a little bit dead on his feet right now.
You were
He's
getting picked up again.
uh,
Starjet won't take no for an answer.
yeah, he does give a small assurance that he's fine, really, but he cannot fight that much.
Yeah, yeah.
They're probably gonna go to a better place to like phone the police and all that.
Yeah. Take them to like some place where they can be more easily reached and just not like in a deteriorating building that is not up to code.
Yeah. Call the police, somehow end up at like some random fast food restaurant that would be open at this hour.
Mm-hmm. All I can picture now is the freaking scene from Spider-Verse
Yeah.
where Starjet is just stuffing her face and Camille is just on the other side, tired, with like a little coffee.
Yeah. He's trying to be better about his coffee intake, but God, does he need it at this point? Probably has like
Just one.
it probably has like a happy meal or something too. And
Oh
the
my gosh,
contrast of
yes!
like just black coffee, happy meal, munching on a chicken
Oh.
nugget.
What would be a good bootleg name for a Happy Meal? Hmm.
Uh, joy meal
Hmm.
maybe.
Happy Meal? Hmm. My brain offered Giggle Box, and that sounds horribly cursed.
Fun box.
Fun Bucks.
Oh,
We'll do
fun
Fun
box.
Bucks.
Small and square
Fun
and dark.
Bucks. Small and square. It's fun sized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's just eating his fun box.
uh, Starjet in comparison probably got like the biggest thing she could because again, this is a lot of woman.
Yeah. Uh, like 5 Big Macs or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fries, because she'll need the energy in the
Yes.
coming days.
I mean, she got stabbed 3 times tonight. She's earned food.
Yeah. uh, Alright. And the you want to end it there, or do you want to do the other funny thing about this character?
I do kind of want to do the other funny thing about this character.
All right.
I have the mental image of like them leaving the restaurant
Absolutely.
and like Starjet has insisted on taking Camille home. No questions asked, you can't resist.
Yeah, he eventually finally relents and tells the address and hopes that Leo won't ask too many questions about a random 7 foot tall lady bringing Camille home at like buttfuck early o'clock.
Well, the explanation might be a bit more confusing and or easier to do because on their way out of the restaurant, I imagine it's like the early early hours of the morning, and like the nighttime is starting to fade away, and then the sun is starting to rise. And would Camille be being carried, or would he have insisted on walking in himself?
He would have tried to walk, but he's probably too sleepy for it. So he's being
Okay.
carried.
hmm I'm gonna have you roll perception at disadvantage because again
Okay.
you're very sleepy.
He's just a sleepy little guy.
Just a sleepy little guy.
Okay, I was about to say like, oh yeah, that's a bad roll. I probably don't even need to roll again, but then I remembered he has a +10 modifier, so
16. Well, that's still really good. It's painfully obvious when the 7 foot height suddenly shrinks down to 2 feet.
you mean by 2 feet, right?
Yeah, by 2 feet. Yeah,
Okay.
by 2 feet. I missed an English word there, and it changed the connotation of the sentence. It does
Yeah,
that sometimes.
it does that sometimes.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Camille's like half asleep, but he does notice it and like blink a bit in confusion and look over.
The person who's holding you is now completely different. Uh, Instead of the 7 foot tall alien woman, there is now just like a about 5'4". She's blonde and it has her hair tied back into a ponytail, and she's Ghiblian for starters, and is wearing like a completely different outfit. Even it's like the baggiest, coziest clothes you've ever seen on somebody.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
and like she just stops in the middle of the sidewalk and just looks around, looks at the child in her arms, and she goes, "Oh, what the hell happened? Oh, hi." And is now just holding you at arm's length.
yeah, Camille is a little bit more awake now because okay, yeah, he needs his brain to be functioning again now, thanks. Um as he's just hey, um you're the other half, I take it?
Uh, yes. Hi. Wow. Okay. That's bad. Uh,
and Camille's just bad how?
bad as in kind of thing.
If that was a secret, she really wasn't good at keeping it.
This tune just like pinches the bridge of her nose with one hand, while the other one is still carrying you. By the way, she's still just as strong,
Yeah, good.
which is even funnier on this twig of an individual.
Good.
At
I
least in
love it.
comparison.
Hmm.
Okay, where am I taking you? I'm assuming I'm taking you somewhere.
Yeah. Uh, I you're back to my house, I think. Um, You
Right.
want me
Okay.
to update you on what happened?
Yes, please.
And he is gonna run you through the events of the night as you walk him home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she will listen attentively and like ask questions when appropriate.
Mhm. Yeah, so at the end of that, he's just, and so yeah, that's what happened. You might want to talk to Starjet about keeping the secret a little bit better, seeing as we had
uh,
just met.
yeah,
Also,
that's
I don't.
definitely something we'll have to talk about. Ugh.
She didn't even really
And
try, seeing as I mean, there wasn't really any the sun was.
she's very eccentric.
Yeah.
Is the best word I have for her. I'll just leave it in our notebook, and I'm gonna roll hammer space. Yeah, D10.
Yay.
Pog. Uh, Dawn, which she would have introduced herself by now as
Mhm.
Dawn uh Dawn Norabel,
Mhm.
and she pulls out a different notebook, which the front reads for Starjet, then flips to a page, big words, don't tell the secret identity.
There is a
It's
snort
secret
at
for a
that.
reason. Uh,
It's just, well, I mean, you're not as bad as some other people I know.
that is really concerning to say, but at the same time, I'm too tired to question it.
Oh yeah, he used to have the habit of telling anyone he had more than one conversation with. I mean, he's
Oh
better at it now,
gosh.
and he didn't even really have the excuse of he didn't really have the excuse of someone else taking the reins, so to speak.
Yeah, that would make sense. Oh, okay.
Yes,
We're just
Camille
gonna get
is
you home.
bullying Leo. He has to.
Good, good, as you should, as you should. But yeah, yeah. I think that would be a good place to leave it off with Dawn dropping off Camille at home.
Yeah. Let's.
Maybe maybe providing the briefest explanations that they would have workshopped on their way there.
Yeah, preferably one that does not involve the whole blowing a secret identity to another person. Uh,
Yeah, don't worry about it.
not
It's fine.
not really any outright lies, but just sort of brushing over some things. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Hey Marzi, if you're there, how teary and weepy-eyed is Leo over Camille coming home at this hour? I have to wonder. Okay, I think they're AFK, but I'm going to take it as
Oof.
very.
Yeah, yeah, that would make sense. It would make sense.
But yeah, so
Uh,
that's
yeah,
that
that's
is a
that's a
good
good
place
place
to
to
end
leave
it.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for playing with me. We finally got that
Um,
FPS.
we finally did it after months of wanting to.
Yeah,
this is
I
this was an absolute delight. Thank you for indulging me.
yes, I absolutely love indulging you, and I love Starjet already. I've only had her for one FPS, but if anything happened to her,
if anything happened to her, I would kill everyone in this room.
yeah. But yeah, thank you, dear audience, for listening. Also, thank you, Iggy, for deciding to bark a lot at me. Yes, I see you're very hyper. Um,
Poopy.
And yeah, we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.